Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Okay. Then I will go back this way. Boy, this little noise of mine is going to drive me crazy. So there we go. For my YouTube viewer who wanted me to go down to this neck of the woods, I hope that I was able to show you what you wanted to see. Hello. I am in Laramie. It is, according to my clock, 6 minutes after 1 in the afternoon. I'm done here and then heading back to Craig, and I'm taking, I guess I'd call it the middle route. There's a southern route, there's a northern route, and there's a middle route. We're going the middle route. Now the middle route Doing good? Okay. I was fighting with my speedometer. If you saw my speedometer, you'd understand. It's actually a phone. So I guess I wasn't quite texting, but I mean, my attention was being averted. So this highway is I think it's Highway 130. And it heads a little north and a little west. Here we go. And it's called the Snowy Range Road. And those mountains that are in front of us are where we're going. And it's a beautiful drive. This is one of the nicest drives. I mean, it's a real open kind of drive. Not really mountainous, but high altitude, I suppose. But real open. So I really like this drive. Even my cruise control works different now that I've aligned this car differently. But now that I've aligned it myself. Try that. All right, I think that's pretty good. Again, this is just a beautiful drive. I guess I don't have to say it. You'll agree with me or you won't. But hang on, I've got bugs on my windshield already. Let's see if I can do something about that. It was clean a minute ago. Okay, try the dry erase theory. Sometimes that works too. Try it a little bit faster. Okay, we have a little water to it, and well, windshield wiper. And you know what's interesting is that's the only spot on my windshield that has been hit. It was right in front of that camera. I know it's down low. Oh well. The panorama that I've got here, I wish you could see it. I'm looking off to we're traveling west right now. To the southwest, I can see the Colorado mountains. And over to the west-northwest, what you can see are the Snowy Range Mountains. Those are some pretty tall mountains. I think the road is over 12,000 feet in altitude up there. I think I'm right about that. What's weird, maybe I haven't noticed, but there used to be elevation markers. I don't know if Wyoming had them, but I don't see any in Wyoming anymore. But that's kind of interesting. See if I can coerce that now that it's dried a little bit. Nope, ain't coming off. I'll probably stop on top and clean it off, or I might stop even sooner if we get more marks. So I'll make sure. More bug. That was a pretty much consistent climb for the last probably 10 miles. This is just beautiful country, just really beautiful grassland. It's so nice. It just has its own really, really cool look, you know. I believe the next town that we go through is at the base of the Snowy Range Mountains. And it's a little town called Centennial. It's really a pretty town. I really like it. It's just really pretty. Living right on the edge of the Snowy Range Mountains. How nice is that? I mean, I would love it. Well, except for that going to the store for groceries part. You really wouldn't want to. You want to be, stocking up. You go there and you get a month's worth of groceries or something. That way you're not, blowing a lot of fuel for trivial things you could have done. With a little forethought. I believe the last time I came up here, I was in my Jeep. Maybe not. Maybe I came back this way. No, I came back through Steamboat. I don't know. So I've got some heavy cream today. That's my drink. It's like drinking eggnog without the sugar, I guess. It's still good. Looks like some happy horses there. Some little guys and some big guys. In case I didn't mention it, today is August 1st. It's about maybe 72 outside, 73. It's really pleasant. Now down in Laramie, it was quite a bit warmer. Probably in the 80s down in Laramie. It was sunny. And all the asphalt, Yeah, this is big sky country. Not to take anything away from Montana. I think that's Montana's slogan or whatever. But pretty beautiful. Speed limit is 70. I'm running about 70 to 72. We're gaining in elevation all the way. Yeah, it would be nice if we had a good view, you know. I mean, my windshield staying clean. It has been amazingly bug-free this year. I think the cold weather that we've had has thwarted a lot of the bugs. They're coming out around Craig, the steamboat. Grasshoppers are getting pretty numerous down south of Steamboat. And this morning I was up just in Wyoming, at the pegmatites I've talked about, put a video out where I was up there looking at the old cabins. There were mosquitoes, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like the first time I went up there. Well, that's good. Just so you know, in case you've missed the news lately, apparently every news outlet in the world is clamoring and yammering and whining and completely worried about climate change. The hottest year ever, the hottest year on record. The world has never been this hot. So they say. The UN Secretary General, the clown that guy is, I would not let him. I wouldn't trust him with my trash. I can't think of a demeaning enough way to describe how I feel about somebody who would get on in front of a camera speaking to the world like he's some sort of something, you know. Well, he's something, saying how we've got to You've got to start doing whatever it is about climate change in a panic mode. I mean, because we are going to it's not global warming, it's global boiling. It's such bullshit. These people have got to be panicked that they're losing their grip to say something so incredibly stupid. I kind of think that the UFO garbage that the U.S. press is covering, I think that's part of this too. I think that they figure if they can get enough balls in the air, they can keep the public watching the balls, watching the juggler, and not noticing what's really going on. And I think they've miscalculated bigly. As Scott Adams might say. What I get out of seeing the UN guy making that speech is that he's a pathetic liar and a power-hungry, disingenuous POS. Like I say, I wouldn't trust him with my trash. It's almost beyond words to describe how demeaning that has to be. And I think that it's even more demeaning because I don't think he understands how demeaning it really is. I believe that they believe that they're pulling something off. And I understand their philosophy. If you say it enough times for enough years, eventually people will believe it. That's what they're counting on. That's what they're hoping for. But what I'm seeing is a backlash is building. It's quite large, and I see it on X. The bird formerly known as Twitter. Now it's X bird. I see it on there. There is so much more pushback on the climate hoax this year than there has ever been. I think a lot of people have realized that it's not, like I've said before, it's not your grandpa's global warming. It's not a bunch of chicken littles that are innocent warriors, annoying as they might be, but they're still innocent. These people are not that. These people are evil. They're masterminds as much as there are masterminds out there outside of a Bond movie. That's what the people are that are pushing this global bullshit, this climate change panic, them trying their damnedest to get done. I think that they're panicked because I think they've lost their grip. I think they're concerned that they can't steal the next election. I mean, they're still working hard on it. But I think that, oh look, there's an elevation sign. 8,076 feet. So this is Centennial, Wyoming. Beautiful little town. A lot of people would call it a wide spotting road. I like down there the museum, the old wood burner. I've not ever stopped there. I've driven by it a lot, but it's kind of cute. It's sort of like I guess you stop and you tour it. I don't know that there's somebody there, but that's my understanding of it. Anyway, what a beautiful town. And I love this restoration. They're restoring a cabin and rebuilding it. That's nice. They're leaving a lot of it, and that's super cool. So here it is, supposed to be the hottest this world has ever been, ever. Record-breaking temperatures everywhere, supposedly. Can't get any hotter. And there is so much snow on the mountains here in Wyoming and here in Colorado, well, and there in Colorado, that begs to differ. That if this were the hottest on record, how would it be ash? Maybe that's what maybe I'm mistaking it for ash. Maybe those are ash piles. Not snow piles, because if this really were the hottest this world has ever been, that would much more likely be ash than snow. Much more likely. But it's such a ludicrous statement. You have to have absolutely no education in basic geology to believe a stupid statement like that. Now, the professors and the teachers, the leftists, have worked hard with their students, doing their best to make sure that they're not actually usefully educated. They have worked hard at that, so I understand that the left thinks that the kids are that stupid. And I'm sure that a lot of them are. Or maybe they're not as stupid as they are, they just don't care, they're just being kids. But the majority of the people that are alive today know it's total and utter bullshit. And every day, I would assume at this point, every day thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people at this point, are turning their back on this climate bullshit. Because they're so over the top. They are lying so much about it. They're believing their own bullshit. That's typically one good way to spot a liar. If their story seems funny, it's very likely because they believe their own lies and they add to their lies incrementally, and their lies become more and more absurd. Not to them, though. Kind of like, being acclimatized to water. The heating water thing where you can boil a frog in water because you don't feel the temperature going up. Well, I think when you lie incrementally, that's probably how that works. That's like the slippery slope argument. Like, today I'm going to have this extra piece of chocolate. Next week I might have, I'll take that one extra piece of chocolate. Then, a year from now, I'm taking several extra pieces of chocolate. Anyway, a few ways to describe it. But I think that's what the climate panic wokies, communists, evil people, evildoers, actual real evildoers, like I said, they're not the innocent sky is falling people. These people are evil masterminds. But I think that they believe their own lies, and they base their latest lies off of their earlier lies, which we don't believe anyway, so they get more and more absurd. And when they get desperate, they lie a little bit more. They push it a little harder. That is what I believe is going on, and why I believe their lies are becoming so absurd. I mean, they really are. They're getting comically stupid. Global boiling? Good God, who's gonna believe that? Other than your hardcore leftists who unthinkingly follow their religion, which is what they're doing. And those people have traded logic for reason. As Gandalf asks Saruman, right? Have you traded logic for insanity? Or have you traded reason for insanity? Whatever it was that pissed Saruman off, and then they had the big wizard fight. You know. I typically get up this hill a little bit faster than these guys, but I'm trying not to be rude, trying not to be on his ass. But I would like to be close enough if there's a passing lane I could get around in. But I'm asking a lot. This is a pretty steep grade, a pretty high altitude. And this car is working pretty hard, even right now. Anyway, we're going to be up in the snow, and it is snow. It's not ash. There are lakes up here. They're not boiling, by the way. They're almost frozen. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was up here, and there were some lakes that were mainly ice. They were really beautiful. They were like a real dark blue color, and the water had submerged the ice, but there was enough ice that just had that really cool blue color. Very pretty. That was just weeks ago. That was in the middle of July. So. Oh, they speeded up now that they had to. Anyway, this is a nice drive. As annoying as it is to see what these people are trying to do, you know, the leftist to society, they have very evil intentions. I mean, their intentions are, they would like to accidentally kill several million people with their policies. I think that's really kind of their plan, is to shut food production down, stop fuel production, ration electricity, make it impossible for people to get it. And did you know, and I've mentioned this before, in the United States, they want this administration, these corrupt pieces of shit, want to outlaw emergency generators. That is so horrible. That is so horrendous. Their excuse is, oh, carbon monoxide. Well, I would say an emergency generator typically runs during an emergency only. So if carbon monoxide were poisonous, like they say it is, keeping in mind I'm talking about the generator running outside, they're implying carbon monoxide will just kill you. And it actually will kill you. However, they're implying these things put out just carbon monoxide, and that for some reason it's such a danger to people that it's better that they don't have power rather than, you know, having power. It's better that they don't have power and die of starvation, of cold, or starvation because they've lost all their food, because they can't run power and keep their, you know, frozen food frozen. Or they die of heat stroke. That's apparently okay. But it's not okay to even risk getting sick by breathing those fumes. And it probably goes back into Mother Earth, and carbon monoxide is killing Mother Earth. But if you look at it, back away a little bit and look at what they're doing, if they can enact all these things, people are going to die. They are going to die. Because the weather is not changed. We do not have what they're talking about. We're going to have cold winters and we're going to have hot summers like we have always had. And they're going to vary the way they always do. It's a cyclical thing. Cyclical or cyclical? But they want to enact legislation to limit food, to limit fuel, and to limit the ability for people to even stay warm, stay cool, or have the benefits of electricity. It's ridiculous what these people are doing. It's quite transparent. Then they can say, when people are dying, oh, we didn't know they were going to die. We had no idea. How terrible is that? It is so flimsy. It is so evil. This is what the global warmists want to do. This is what they're doing. This is what they're in the middle of doing. These are not your grandpa's global warmists. These are not your worriers, innocent people that are just stuck on a worry. These are evil people that know there's no global warming. They have decided that most of humanity isn't worth saving. Why don't teachers teach kids anymore? I mean, teach them things they can actually use. Because teachers, the left, they've decided that kids aren't worth saving. If they were worth saving, they'd probably want to teach them something. But they're not. They're just indoctrinating them. They're just making them as good little foot soldiers as they can until such time comes that they don't need them anymore. And then, well, if they die because they can't keep their food refrigerated, because they can't get fuel to stay warm, well, that's the price you have to pay, right? To save Mother Earth because of global warming, right? Because of the message. Anyway, I think it's really important for us that have our independent thought to speak up. And I'm glad to see that a huge amount of people are speaking out against this. The media and their full court press is not working. In fact, I think it could have been a watershed moment this weekend when the UN attorney hoo-ha, whatever the hell that guy is, I liken him to an evil Captain Kangaroo. That's what I think of that guy. I think that may have been their watershed moment. I don't think they are getting any more converts at this point. I believe it's downhill for them from here on out. The idea that in next September, the Biden administration is going to try to cede power to the UN so the UN can rule us over climate emergencies and all that bullshit. Lock us down and not sell gas or whatever. The idea that they can do that they're going to be able to do that next September is utterly insane. I do believe this guy's trying to stop here. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's just that it's really at the end of the day, every generation of all of our generations have these same bad people. The last time they were as bad as this was right before World War II. And it was people wanting to do the same thing, which is kill, mass extinction, mass killing. Let's be more, that's what they want. They want to see a mass killing of these useless people. And who do they believe are useless? The people that they don't like. The people that don't agree with them politically. The people that don't want to listen to them. The people that don't want them to rule, to grab power and rule. I'm speaking of communists. Those are the people that do this shit. They're the people that are behind it now, and they were the people that were behind it in World War II. You People say Hitler was a fascist. No, Hitler was a communist. He wasn't a fascist. National Social. What is a Nazi? National Socialist. What is a socialist? A socialist is a communist in training. I mean, come on. All right. Libby Flats. No, I don't want to stop at this spot. There's another spot here I want to do a little twirl, you know, like if you're a model and you get on, you do a little twirl or whatever to show off the clothes. So we're looking at Colorado, mountains over there. Those are the circles, I do believe. And here's the snowy range. And I guess that, you know, you lefties out there, go ahead and believe that that's ash. Just, that's ash. Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, you go on and believe that's ash. That's funny. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to clean my window. So, I'll be right back. In fact, I'll just leave the camera rolling and the car running. All right. I'll do a little drive all the way back around this. That way I can give you the complete 360-degree view here. This is a really pretty overlook. I really like it. You don't see all the lakes. There's some lakes that are up high behind that moraine. And I believe that's an old mine down there. I was going to go take a look at that another time. But I'll swing back around here for you. It's a little bit crowded today. But let's see if I can do this really slow. I know that I think that I'm doing a good job of filming, but yeah. Just like you to see all these cool things. Oh, looks like another mine down there. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and we're getting rain. Well, that doesn't surprise me. And now we're looking south down into Colorado. And back at that old, I believe that's an old mine. There are several mines up here. So I wouldn't be surprised if I did just see two. I saw another area that looked like a mine also. Anyway, all right. Beautiful little turnout. I hope we're recording. Oh yeah, I think we are. And let's just go on down. So there's a moraine. A moraine is a hill, if you don't know what a moraine is. A moraine is a hill. It's like the first, well, it's the slough off everything to the glacier, basically pushed into a big pile. And that's what we're looking at here, right in front of us. I do believe that those are moraines. Yeah. Or there was a landslide. And so these hills that are just in front of us, there's a lake behind those hills, is what I'm getting at. And that's typical. That's a typical mountain feature. Like, for instance, the lake that's down there, I guess you could call it, well, a moraine. There could be a lot of them, you know. It just depends on what the glacier did, you know. Anyway, I'm getting tangled up in words. But there's snow right there beside us. Yeah, I'll leave the It's about 50 degrees out up here. It's pretty chilly. I'm turning my air conditioner off. It's quite that chilly. So when the press and the bureaucrats and the other mouthpieces of the communists that are trying to destroy this world, and that's really what they're trying to do. I don't think they understand that, but that's where it goes. Or that's where it ends up. Look at that. Really pretty lake right there. Another. So I believe this is also a moraine right here. It's the lower one. Oh, really pretty. Really pretty stuff going on here. I need to stop and walk around here too. This needs to be put it on my list. Okay. Anyway, think of this video. August 1st, 2023, the year that the Earth was hotter than it's ever been, ever. Including when it was molten, including, yeah, I can't really go much further than that. Apparently, we humans have found a way, ingenious as we are, to make the world even hotter than when it was a molten ball of lava. Yes. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Does that phrase make sense here? Kind of. The idea is that the woke left are believing this, that it's the hottest ever. Then again, like I said before, They know what they're doing. They're not lying to convince us. They're lying to convince kids. They're playing a bit of a long game when it comes to this global bullshit, because they know it, well, because they believe it's a winner for them. I disagree. I don't think they're going to win this one. They will win some battles. I mentioned this earlier when I was filming earlier, that according to, like, if you believe what the Bible says as far as Revelations, the evil will inherit the world. They will win. And if you believe what Revelations has to say, which is quite interesting, if nothing else, it's extremely interesting. Read. Quite apocalyptic. I mean, that's kind of where it comes from, right? Apocalypse. That the evil will indeed reign. They'll rule, and they'll reign. That's according, like I said, to prophecy. My opinion of that is, yeah, it could very well be. But I don't think that time is this time. I know a lot of people think that. They always think that. Growing up, there's always somebody that's willing to say, oh, the end of the world is nigh. There's not a time in my life that there wasn't somebody saying that. Now, they could be correct, but I don't feel like they are. I have a feeling that we're going to win this one. I don't think that their global warming wagon that they've hitched to their star is going to do it for them. I think, like I said, I think they overplayed their hand. You know, global boiling. Good God, y'all. You know, global boiling. I think they overplayed. And I believe that because they're following each other so tightly, that I think they're going to amplify that message before they understand how stupid it is. They're going to think it's innovative. They're going to think it's cool. They're going to trust their market research on it. Then they're going to realize that they fucked up bad. And because people aren't buying it. Or that they can't go back over that. But like I said, by the time they realize it, probably 2,000 or 3,000 news stories will have repeated it. You know, they've got a gigantic repeater network. And they're extremely good at disseminating information quickly. So, the Bud Light truck, he's slinking around up here. Anyway, we have passed the peak of the Snowy Range Road. I think I'm over my tirade. I just can't get over how ludicrously stupid that statement that this person, that anyone would think, saying something that stupid. I can't get over it. It's entertaining, that's for sure. What I'm getting at is I think it's time for me to shut this filming down and but just in case we get into some snow, I'll let it run for a few more minutes. through this little storm here, because this looks like it could be snow up here. That little exhaust donut is giving up. My little repair, my little roadside repair, worked pretty good. I've gotten a couple thousand miles, maybe 1,500 maybe out of it. That's pretty good, really, because by the time it started making noise, I mean, it's destroyed already. I was just able to, you know, put it off a little bit longer. All right, I don't think this is going to be snow, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I hope you enjoyed this little drive. It's a really pretty drive out of Laramie. It's one of the nicest drives out of Laramie up to the Snowy Range. So I hope I use it. Anyway, if you're going somewhere, drive safe. And I will see you next time. Take care. Be good.